Welcome, CCY students, teachers, and hopefully parents. You are listening to Mr. Wi-Fi Connection, the English podcast where I connect, pun intended, with English ambassadors, teachers, and anyone else who has something they would like to share on topics that they are interested in. My hope is that you listeners will discover ideas that you want to talk about and come share your thoughts with me, your English teachers, and our English ambassadors. And if you would like to join a future podcast episode, please tell me. This is the second part of the first episode, where I asked Gianna, Aiden, Ellie, and Joe for their advice to help everyone improve their English. Why being able to communicate in English is even important to them, and what being able to speak English might mean for their futures.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to our next segment, right? Which I borrowed from a podcast that I listen to. It's called "What Now" by Trevor Noah.
Give credits.
Credit has just been given,
Credits.
and the segment is called "If I Ruled the World." And we're gonna keep it on topic. So, if you ruled the world, what would you command? What would you make a law that everybody has to do to improve their English? Okay, keep it English related. So, how would you make sure that everybody improves their English? What law would you pass, Joe?
Pain. Pain is the best teacher.
Explain, please.
Pain is the best teacher.
Yes, I could agree.
And if someone gets a question wrong, use your pencil. Use a pencil to hit their head.
Get a coat hanger.
No violence needed. Just maybe like an English week where you can go to different places and there's like teachers in different rooms where if you wanna speak English or improve your English, you can go to the rooms and learn them. And maybe in that English week there's more English events where you can get gifts. So I wouldn't say I would command them. I would encourage them.
Okay, that's a nicer way than pain.
Yeah, no
right?
violence needed.
But this is a world, right? You rule the world, right?
Yeah.
So that means English week for everybody.
I still care about
That would mean that not just at school, but also like in shops, wherever you go to the supermarket, everybody then has to speak English for that week. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah, but if you still don't know how to speak English, pretend you're new to English. I wouldn't force you to speak.
Okay.
It's like depends.
But highly encouraged.
Yes,
to
highly
do so. Okay. Great. Thank you, Gianna, as well. So how about Ellie and Aiden? Ellie? What would you do? If you ruled the world, how would you make sure everybody improves their English? What would you make them do?
Force them to watch Peppa Pig.
No.
Okay.
Make a Cocomelon song the national song.
A, B, C, D, E.
Oh no. You would make the alphabet song the national anthem.
If you guys
You would do
actually
that?
did, I'm bad. I'm done. I'm going to another galaxy.
Right? Yeah, we're leaving the Earth immediately. Okay, Ellie, please explain the educational value of Peppa Pig.
So I remember an episode that Peppa is trying to learn how to whistle, and then
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
No. But she knows how to whistle now. She knows how to whistle.
Yes. So learning to whistle. Yes.
So Peppa Pig used a lot of grammar that can help people with their own grammar. And then when she was on a call, she could help people improve their English calling. And then speak like asking, whatever. And then Madame Gazelle, she's a very good Peppa Pig teacher. So you better learn from her. So how about you? And also, you can learn a lot from Peppa Pig.
Period.
And then a lot of grammar, pronouns, vocals, anything related to English can be learned there. So I suggest Peppa Pig for any ages.
You didn't suggest them. You forced them.
You forced
Yeah.
them. It's the law. It is a law to watch Peppa Pig. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree because, I mean, not just Peppa Pig, but any kind of English program. Cocomelon included.
The Builders go round and round.
Any English language
Bob the
program
Builder.
is going to give you examples
Can you fix it?
is going to give you, Ellie, authentic examples of English speech and communication. Okay. Aiden, did you have a thing that you want everyone to do if you are emperor of the entire planets?
Dance party.
Just make Coco. Make
More Cocomelon.
song the national song
No.
for the entire world.
I'm leaving the galaxy.
And
I'm leaving the galaxy.
And once a year, they're gonna have to sing the song. Either it's A, B, C, D, or Cocomelon song, or Baby Shark.
We are
Baby
we
shark.
are
Oh my
the
God.
baby
Please
shark.
Please
If
no.
me and Aiden die, the
Please no.
world will be probably
I will
cheering
rule the
because they
world.
don't have to watch Peppa Pig or Pokemon.
Yeah, the world would be cheering.
Potentially.
But I think I wouldn't have the patience because I'm going to leave the galaxy as soon as possible.
I
That was
swear
a-
to God.
No offense.
We will
Next
be,
question.
we will be the reason why Cocomelon
Okay,
is famous.
as Galactic Emperor, I'm only going to pass one of your laws. I think pain is too harsh. We
No violence.
we got rid of that kind of thing in like the 1960s, so we're not going to do that anymore. Peppa Pig, I feel like forcing people to watch Peppa Pig is...
Not bad. I mean, it's a great.
It's a great show.
It's
And-
a
and
show.
Bobby
No,
Brown's gonna
Only
get-
for you guys.
But there's only so much Peppa Pig you can take,
Yeah.
right? Take it from a father of 2 young children.
Yeah.
You know, parents are going to go crazy if they have to watch Peppa Pig and only Peppa Pig.
POV,
So,
if they watch
and the
too
same with
many-
Cocomelon. If I have to
Thank
sing
you.
Cocomelon songs every
Yeah.
single day, I will probably break a few things. So let's not do that. So that means, Gianna, your idea of having an English week
Yeah.
where people are highly encouraged, if not forced, then at least highly encouraged to speak English wherever they go for a whole week. Is that like once a year only, or?
Maybe twice a month.
Oh yeah, twice a month. I think that's fair. You got half English
Jordan.
and half whatever other language that you speak, right?
Over the
Okay,
road.
so as Galactic Emperor, I am passing Gianna's law.
Let's go.
That is what we're going to be doing for the...
But
For the next
Cocomelon's an
year.
education.
All right,
To the government.
so here's the thing. You do clearly find English communication important, right? So why? Why is English communication important to you?
First, it is the easiest language I've ever seen.
International language.
Yeah,
Ah.
Second, it is used in many countries. If I go to like different countries and I don't know how to
Australia,
speak
America,
New Zealand.
no.
New Zealand.
language,
Just like your recent trip,
pretend
yeah.
I went to New Zealand and I didn't know what to say. Like Kiora, I know a few of
Kiora.
like their languages, but mostly I just speak English
Yeah.
because I don't really know
Oh,
how to
Kiora.
speak them.
Kiora.
So English is very much used in different countries.
Very good. Yeah, that makes sense.
English is a worldwide language. I think every country has that language to be learned in schools, and then when you use English, it will be easy to communicate with other countries
Mhm.
because a lot of countries have English in their school subjects.
Yeah, like I just said, internet is an international language, which means that if you go to this country, well, most likely they also know English.
Yes.
Yeah, in
Just
most
for-
cases.
Just about
Joe's
Very
turn.
well.
Joe's
Right.
Toaster.
Joe, what do you think?
Without English,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a 16.
no, actually, no.
You
Without
probably
candy, I wouldn't
you won't even
exist.
probably exist.
my brain would be
Without
empty.
without English, my all of my online friends will be useless.
That's true.
Oh.
As I said, English spawned in me and Aiden's head.
Yeah.
If it demolished, I don't know.
Well,
I'm just
it's
gonna be
like
staring at a wall and then I'm gonna be daydreaming every time.
You
Yeah,
wouldn't
look
be
at-
able to communicate at all,
No.
right? Are there things that you can do in English that you wouldn't be able to do in Chinese? Does English open up opportunities that are not available
Yes.
if you only spoke Chinese? What are those?
Talent.
If I
Talents?
spoke Chinese,
In what?
I would be still.
Sales.
I won't be
Singing.
Singing.
Programming.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is true.
Well, that's a good
In
point,
Chinese
actually,
rap, it is harder
Hmm.
than English raps.
Ah.
And for some reason, I think Chinese raps are like way harder and not that good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
For some reason, I really like programming in English rather
Yeah.
than Chinese, because Chinese seems so much harder.
I also think
Yeah,
like
program just
program
slash
mentality.
e-dance slash
Oh, yeah.
slap post something anyway. And then Chinese, you just need to write a whole sentence, it has different strokes, different words. I am going to explode.
Oh wait, no, I had no idea how the coding works in China. I didn't know that. I just assumed that all programming languages are English.
And I want to code.
I
but
didn't know.
I sell the music. I use English.
So there are actually programming languages in Chinese.
There
That's a
is,
thing. I had no idea. Well, that's interesting.
like
But-
Minecraft.
But of course, then you are limited, right? Then you'd only be able to work for Chinese companies, software companies, right?
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to work overseas, mostly they're going to be using English-based programming languages, right? So the opportunities would have. That's a great example.
Yeah.
I'll just repeat back.
Aiden, yeah.
Well, just saying back the international. If you were to go to a different country, let's for say United Kingdom, and you say Chinese, people are gonna be really confused. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, but of course, if you speak English, well, English is also
English is acceptable.
acceptable. They know what you're saying.
Yeah. Mostly.
All right. So my last question really is: how do you think being able to speak English as well as you do will affect your future?
Let me speak with you.
Ellie. Yes.
So if I go to Japan, and then I can speak Japanese a bit, but I don't know how to speak Japanese very well.
Yeah.
So when I use English to communicate with them, they'll probably understand me. So it is very easy to like order
Mm-hmm.
and buy tickets stuff. Yeah.
So being able to speak English will make traveling easier
Yes.
for you in the future, right? Okay. Cool.
Because nowadays I'm thinking of being a flight attendant,
Okay.
and because in flight attendants you can like go to different countries, and same as English is the worldwide language, and if the main language I need to speak is English, so I can communicate with the passengers.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, of course.
Oh, I also want to be a flight attendant or a pilot too.
You're gonna be a pilot. not a flight
Actually,
attendant.
He could be a flight attendant if he wants to.
I know, but he said he wanted to be a pilot.
You're a pilot. You can be a pilot.
We can only
actually,
see each other then.
what question was it again?
Your
How do
future
you
job.
think being able to speak
Okay.
English will affect your future?
Speaking English in the future will be a problem, because if I go to a different country, maybe I might have to communicate with other people in a foreign language. So if I just speak English to them, it will be complicated because they don't understand. So I probably won't go to another country ever again. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, this is the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Since you've been asking us so many questions, I have a question for you.
Oh, good.
great.
If your child does not know how to speak English at all, what would you do?
Oh, that seems pretty unlikely. But if for some crazy reason my daughters somehow forgot their ability to speak
I
English,
have an answer for that.
then obviously I would send them out to your English week.
Oh,
to
yeah.
make sure that
treat them well.
they train
Joe would treat them very
to
well.
speak English as well as
I
possible.
have an answer for
Of course,
that.
then I have the motivation also
I have
to
the
learn whatever language they're speaking
If they
instead, right?
Chinese.
Then yeah, I just have to learn Chinese, I guess.
I also have a question.
Simple as that. Learn
My
Chinese.
first.
No,
my
me
my
first.
Please.
No, me. Okay.
Me first.
Sir?
Me first.
I mean, ma'am.
So my question is,
Yeah.
if you were in a world filled with English-speaking people,
Yeah.
what would you do? He would be very happy.
Yeah, I'd be able to chill.
Okay.
And what if you're in
I'm
a country
sure.
filled with
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. But
But
I
you're
would
Chinese.
not.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing. I was in a world filled with only English speakers, then I would no longer have a job.
Oh.
I'd have to find a new job.
Oh.
That'd be the thing, wouldn't it?
Well,
You need to get a Chinese teacher.
Well, I would.
So you can
Yeah.
find a
Or
better
I have to
job.
learn Chinese and teach everyone Chinese instead.
Oh, Russian
Would be,
I can teach you.
yeah, I'd have to
Oh,
learn another language.
Philippines?
Or I just have to teach something else.
let's say if you were in a world where only people speak Chinese and you were the only one who knew English, what was the first thing you're gonna do?
The first thing I would do is probably go to a restaurant or a 7-Eleven,
Okay.
walk in,
Walk in.
grab a menu or grab an item,
Menu? There's a menu?
and then I would go. I would find right. I'd find the thing that looked the nicest to eat, and I'd go to the counter at 7-Eleven and I'd be like,
That's kind of
"What's this?" Right? And then they would have to tell me in their language what it was, and I would have learned my first word,
Alright.
and then that would be the first step.
But
I'm gonna interrupt someone's
That's
phone.
where I learned
Yeah,
Russian.
exactly. Right?
But then how are you gonna know girl in Chinese? Are you gonna drag the girl and then
Well, yeah, that's how anybody learns their first language, right? You're not going to remember when you were little babies, but you learn your first language by
Well, and-
listening to your parents say what things are.
No,
Wave things in your
Mine is
face.
still Peppa Pig.
Wave things in your face, and they make you say it, right?
Water.
The first thing that any parent gets a
Ma'am,
child to say is
you have
"mommy"
a-
and "daddy," right?
then how are you gonna
So
know?
they point at each other. They go, "Mommy, call me mommy, call him daddy."
I'm making this embarrassing. Just
Eventually-
one time, I
Yes.
called my teacher mommy. And I don't know why I called. It's not him. It's not him. I called him mommy. Oh my god.
Okay, we are running out of time for today. Thank you to the four of you for agreeing to come on the pilot episode, the very first episode of the podcast. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for sharing your experiences.
Yeah.
Now, please say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.